Okay, Islam Sheikh Arrington-Bey. Islam, I'm a West American Nation family. I'm leaving Burkang. It's holy day. It's about 3:15 p.m. It's Friday, or Venus Day, Islam. So today was an okay day. I did experience 4 sharp pains in my lower back and my right foot. I'm not accusing anyone, but I did experience 4 sharp pains today. I think it was yesterday, definitely in my ankle. Yesterday, my left ankle, as I was walking and doing my duties at Burger King. Let's see. I'm not accusing anyone because I don't know where they're coming from, but I know they're force. And I just did a video. I was like, why would any spirit want to send 4 sharp pains? But if they had the telepathic code and they were programmed, those that had the telepathic code 100 years ago to cause people to be sick, so they have to be recycled back and forth in the medical system, they can easily put those same programs in the telepathic code as they try to normalize giving the telepathic code to masses of people. So what that does is keeps the frequency low on planet Earth, because it dehumanizes those that are sending 4 sharp pains. It demoralized them. So they thinking they're showing how much power they have. And so remember the syphilis experiment. And I just want to just say this to give an example how experiments are done, and then a certain type of solution happens. So the syphilis experiment was, according to a history, black males in Alabama, or a black community, not males only, community in Alabama had syphilis. And so they went to the doctors for help. And the doctors gave them what they call a sugar pill placebo instead of help. They thought they were being cured, and doctors told them that they were cured. And when I first heard this story or read about it, I assumed, because they showed pictures of the pale-skinned doctors. Later, more showed pictures of this African-American nurse that too was involved in giving the black community in Alabama sugar pills or placebo. So what happened was the males and females that were infected with syphilis, syphilis had different stages. You got stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. So they went back out. They thought they were being cured. And those that was in stage 1 or very light or whatever, they thought they were being cured. They went back out and they were actually spreading syphilis more. And once again, when they demonstrate this story, a lot of times all the pictures are pale skin. I didn't know any nurses that were African American was involved until Morris showed pictures of a African American woman who was a nurse that was involved. So what I'm demonstrating is there is a history and there's true stories. There's a truth. So imagine having a cell or a body or unclean spirit deliberately infected placed into a community to deliberately spread syphilis. And not only, and so then you had, so the African American lady who's a nurse, she might have went to church. She might have went to church. Maybe she was something else, another religion. But a lot of the African Americans in Alabama were known to be Christians, and they went to church. And so, and their community was important. So I'm just saying, so the community is like, okay, they're being healed, but they weren't being healed. So what I'm demonstrating again is there's a history and there's a truth. And so if we are among unclean, unnatural spirits that justify sending for sharp pains now, they were doing it over 100 years ago. And they thinking they're showing how much power they have. But what they are showing and demonstrating, especially to those who distribute the telepathic code, is their demoralization, their dehumanization. Okay? So once again, syphilis was deliberately, so they didn't say it was deliberately spread by individuals, but imagine, because even when those that have the HIV virus, when that came out, not all, but when HIV came out, I think it was in the early 80s, they started to speak or give reports of those that had AIDS or HIV deliberately spreading HIV and AIDS. They knew they were infected and they still spread it. And so we are among those who have the telepathic code that can cause you to feel so sexual and sensual. So if you don't know and you come across someone, you like, that man is so fine. That's my black brother. That's my king. Or it could be a pale skin or Spanish speaking. And you get all these sexual feelings that are downloads. And then you start having sex with that which is infected. You become infected, and not only that, you not knowing, you spread the disease. So imagine, once again, the telepathic code being used, a plot or a cell being put in communities to deliberately spread diseases and viruses. This is a thought. I can't tell you how many times I have experienced forced sexual, sensual feeling, or I'm hearing African American males or females say, "She love your son." She love your son. That's the brother. So not only them, but also Spanish speaking. So, and it's not all. But what I'm demonstrating is an agenda to behave in a animal state of mind. Literally animal state of mind. Anyway, and not really trying to hide that they have that animal state of mind, or they are for causing harm, keeping people sick, or demonstrating some form of violence to cause someone to be mentally unstable. They're not ashamed. And so they're thinking they're powerful and look what they can do. But what they're demonstrating to those that have gave them the telepathic code is their dehumanization and their demoralization. And I just want to keep that in mind about the syphilis experiment. The syphilis experiment is one experiment out of many. So I'm pretty sure there was some in Alabama who was like, look at those black Negroes having all that sex and they know they sick. And I'm pretty sure it didn't come out until later. That that they were given sugar pills, according to a story. So, just think of how others might think. Look at those black Negro animals having all that sex, spreading all those diseases. And now here we are today in 2022, and I can't tell you how many times unclean spirits imply some form of sexual I guess implication somehow. And I'm thinking about, now I'm saying this, I was about to give testimony or speak about something else that really happened as well, but it didn't have nothing to do with this. So today I just want to finish up from my break. I thought it was odd, but I think I'm just going to hold off from that. Well, no, because it's not the same thing. I don't know why she said this, but Burger King didn't have any any onion rings today. And a guy, for whatever reason, I was telling I wrote a note trying to tell everybody no onion rings, only fries. And there was this black male, he looked over 60. He wanted a small onion ring and a Whopper Jr. And I forgot to tell him. And I rang him up for a small onion ring. And I was telling everyone right before him and afterwards. Right before him, I took order of a black male, regular. He had on, he usually wear New York attire. And he has a beard. Anyway, Phyllis said, why did you ring up onion rings? And at first I didn't know who she was talking about. Then I started to look through the register, and I said, oh, and she said, yes, you. And then she and I said, oh, and I started to say, would you like fries? There's no onion rings. Phyllis walked to the front counter, and it sounded like the black male that, as he came back around the counter, that usually wear the New York attire. It sounded like he said brother, but I could be wrong, but it definitely sounded like it. And Phyllis went to the 60-year-old, possibly and up, and told him no onion rings, only fries. And she said she screwed up. I was like, what a word to use after just previously she used the F-U-C-K-I-N-G word. So what I'm demonstrating is, so the black male who looked to be possibly 35, 40, maybe 45 years old, came back around the corner with a New York attire, and it's like he said brother, and he was standing next to the black male that looked over 60, maybe 65, 70 years old, and feels like, yes, she screwed up. And so I was, I wouldn't think nothing about it, but because she used words like F-U-C-K-I-N-G in front of black males or males, I was like, why she use the word screw? And because that too has sometimes a connection to a sexual connotation. But nonetheless, I just let it be. And I apologize. I didn't, but I don't know. And then I just like asking why is she even speaking the word F-U-C-K-I-N-G and saying fool to me. Anyway, I don't know her on a personal level. I noticed that customers for extremely long time, maybe over 2 years, they come many times, like when something that seemed to be unconstitutional happened and I experience it, they'll come up to the register and do this. Like they'll like this as they talk. You know, so they'll say, as I'm saying, hi, thank you for choosing Burger King, may I take order? They might, as I'm taking that time to say that, they'll start moving their lips like this. For over 2 to 3 years, possibly. It's been a while. And now, you know, it's not, but definitely with something unconstitutional, according to possibly lawyers, would say happened in reference to what I experienced. Possibly. And then soon after, too many times, some of them might come into Burger King. I've seen Spanish speaking, predominantly Spanish speaking looking, and do this. When I say Spanish speaking, they predominantly look to be from possibly El Salvador, Mexico, or South and Central America. Predominantly, and they have not all been. There have been a few black, African American blacks, let's claim a nationality, and possibly pale skin as well. But for a very, very long time, Islam. It is May the 13th, 2022.